How's it going, YouTube? So I found an interesting experiment to do. I was looking on YouTube and I didn't see a whole lot of videos on this, so I figured I'd try it. I've got 18 pieces of 2 inches by 3 inch metal, and I'm gonna clean it up with my fiber wheel and then use some acetone. Make sure they're all got the same surface. Then I'm gonna test out 17 different things. See, you got some white lithium, some penetrating lithium, some multi-purpose lubricant, blaster, some WD-40, some shellac, some paste wax, some carnauba wax, some 3-in-1 oil cleaner wax from McGuire's, some flits, some boiled linseed oil, some stable rust stopper, some fluid film, some lacquer, 3 different kinds of silicone from CRC, Super Lube, and Blaster. And there's a lot more stuff that would help with this, but most of this I already had. I bought a couple new things for this experiment, but most of it I already had, and most of it's just, some of it's just for rust, some of it's not, but we'll see. Like fluid film and the stable rust stopper, they're just for that, but a lot of this other stuff is supposed to help for to stop rust and corrosion, and some of it's not. But I'm gonna go ahead and clean these up, and I'll be right back. So I guess I should note that I bought all of this with my own money. Got none of it for free. No sponsors. Yeah. Even though if you want to send me stuff, I'll take it. But and this is a welding sheet of welding. How am I saying this? It's a welding steel. I cut it into 18 pieces, and I just hit it with the fiber wheel to get anything off. And now I'm gonna put on some gloves and clean it with acetone. Try to get it the best results. I don't want the oil from my skin on it. So I'll let the acetone dry, and I've already did the lacquer one, so because it takes the longest to dry, I got it baking. I'm probably going to do the shellac next because it dries pretty fast, but no particular order after that. Alright, I got them all coated. Some of them are pretty obvious. You can tell they're different. Note to self, fluid film smells awful. Awful. Carnauba wax smells great. But I'm going to put these outside for 7 days, and that'll be the conclusion of this video after I get the results. If it doesn't rain, I'm going to make sure it does. Make sure, like, at least spray some water on them a couple times a day. And I know you can't like spray lacquer and put shellac on everything, but a lot of tools come with lacquer on them, so I just did it for my own personal enjoyment. But yeah, after this video, I'll leave it outside for the whole month, and we'll see what it looks like then. Today's the 15th, or really the 14th, not. So I'll see you then. Alright, it's been a week. It's June 21st now, and I've got some results. So I'm gonna sort these in different groups of pass and fail, and we'll see what we got here. I want to say this test is very subjective, and this is not like real world conditions. You're not going to leave your tools and all your metal out in the rain and for a week, hopefully. So your opinions may vary, but this is my fail category. Got 3-in-1 paste wax, carnauba, flits, white lithium, PB blaster, cleaner wax, multi-purpose lubricant, and of course the control bare metal. I know some of this is not even for rust, but I just wanted to try it. And some of these did better than the rest, but I tested them of course I left them outside for a week, and the days it didn't rain, I mixed a teaspoon of vinegar, and I filled the rest of the spray bottle up with water, because rain's more acidic than tap water, so I was trying to make it similar, but I don't really I think the vinegar overdid it a little bit. But yeah, I may do another test with some other stuff I've been wanting to buy. So I'm gonna go to the next category. Alright, these all failed as well, but they didn't fail as bad, I guess you could say. With the CRC silicone, the Super Lube silicone, the Blaster silicone, and surprisingly WD-40. I'd say these would all work well for short-term protection, if it's not outside, that is. Might work a little bit longer. But yeah, silicone surprised me. I mean, the paste wax maybe could be in this category too, because these did fail, but they were outside in the rain, and it stormed like crazy the past 2 days. So the next category. Alright, although these did show minimal rust, they didn't rust until I'd say like 2 days ago, because the storm was so bad it finally, I guess, got all the stuff off of them. But they did better than I thought they'd do. I would say they were good to use to protect against rust in most cases, but if they're outside, probably not. But the fluid film is really like thick, and it's kind of makes it dirty almost. It's like goo. But yeah, the shellac, it's kind of like paint, but not as strong. Alright, and the last category, which shouldn't be a surprise, here's the, I guess you'd say, almost perfect, which lacquer is really not a surprise because it's basically paint. And I know you can't paint everything, but it worked really well. And surprisingly, the linseed oil, I guess, wins, because you can't really count the lacquer. There's like basically no rust on it. There's a couple little spots about to form, but yeah. I may make a second video if this one turns out well, but that's all I got. Thanks. Subscribe.